QA repair video. This is video number 5 in a series. Today we're going to fix a roller on a Stoelting U3 pump. The roller is this part right here. I'm going to start the pump just so you can hear what it sounds like when it's broken. We're going to run it after we're done fixing it so you can just see the difference in sound. What you can hear is you can hear the loose play in the roller. And I happen to know that there's 3 bearings in there that are rolling on that hose that you're hearing right now. One of these 3 bearings is bad on my existing roller. So we're going to take it apart and fix this. And I just wanted to run the pump for you just so you know what it sounds like. The tools that you're going to need to replace this roller with is, of course, you're going to need the roller from Stoelting, and we'll have the manufacturer part number and phone number on the website for you. You're going to need a Phillips screwdriver. You're going to need the Allen wrench that comes inside your U3 pump, and you're also going to need a pliers. Now, the only thing you need a Phillips screwdriver for is to take the 2 screws out of the plate on the top. And if you listen to my last video, I told you not to put the screws back in the plate, so we're just going to take the top right off and run that through the dishwasher. And so basically we don't need the Phillips screwdriver anymore for this project. Now, the inside of the pump here is the roller is attached to this clip right here inside, and when you run the pump, you'll see that this rotates on this arm, and the roller is on the other end of this shaft in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip the pump upward right here, and the first thing we're going to do is disconnect the U3 hose that's inside the roller here. And what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect it from the T. And then we're going to pull the clamps off the hose here. And then the next thing we need to do, we're going to stretch this hose down or over so it's not in our way here. Hopefully it stays over there. If it becomes a problem, just disconnect it here at the red check valve that should be on your air pump hose, and it'll hang out that way. The next thing you want to do is remove these. There should be 4 of these silver clamps or screws in here holding the black housing on. This one here is a particular problem, so once you have the clamp off, you can take your pliers and just unscrew it like that, and that way you can get your hand in there. And then what you want to do is, once you get them loose enough, you can unscrew them all. Put these on the counter so you don't lose them. Then what you want to do is you want to pull this black housing off, and it should come off here. The best way to do this is to take your T right here and split it like that, and one side will come off, and then the hose can come out, and the other side will come off. Now, as you can see from the hose wear here, that's not normal hose wear. That's a sign that one of your bearings is cracked. And when we take this apart, you'll see this bearing right here. Now you can't run this pump for a long-term period of time with a bearing that's all spongy and cracked like that. The other 2 bearings on here are okay; they're spinning just fine. But this one here is the cracked one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this hose aside for now, and we'll clip that bad portion of hose off later. And we will be able to save the portion of hose on there that's still in good shape. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get all this black gunk that came out of here off of here. So now what we want to do is we want to remove this roller, and this can be a little bit of a tricky operation here. What I like to do is stick my pliers in here, right in here, to prevent this from rolling. Now, see, when you roll this roller, you see how that goes up and down in that arm like that? What you want to do is block that motion in here. So stick the big pliers in there, and what you want to do while that's in there, you're going to hopefully stop the roller action. And what you want to do at the same time is grip the roller and unscrew it from the base. And sometimes it's on there pretty good. Just so you have an idea of what we're looking at, I just want to show you what we're looking at. This is the base inside the pump, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to roll it on there and screw it in there. And this is what we're trying to do when we bring it out. So when you unscrew it, this should come off of this axis. So this is what the axis inside the pump is. Okay, now what I did was I put the wrench, the pliers in here underneath here, so it stops from going down. And I'm pushing this roller, or I'm rolling this roller. When you look at it from this end, you're rolling it counterclockwise. And what I did was I got it to, I basically gave it a lot of force with a towel. And what I'm doing is just spinning it off the axis now. Okay, so you see that? We got the old roller out. And you can see from the film here, we got this axis exposed. See this? This is what you're looking at inside the pump here. And what you want to do is just make sure this is all cleaned off. And this is in pretty good shape because I took it off the other day to put a new roller in there, or to put a new sub-roller in there. And it wasn't the best one, but I had to wait till the part got here. So what we want to do is we want to put the new roller on. And what you want to do is you want to have the nuts where facing towards the pump. That goes on first. And then what you want to do is you want to spin the roller back on, and that's going to be a clockwise direction. And then you want to tighten it. You're going to have to again put the wrench in here to stop this axis from moving. But you want to tighten it so it's real snug. You don't want to have it like over tight, but just enough so it's snug. And so we've done that. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to run the pump just to show you what kind of sound, how much smoother it sounds when you got the good roller in there. You can hear that there's none of that spongy play in there that you heard before. Now, what we're going to do then is we're going to run the black housing and stuff through the dishwasher, and the plate and the top of the housing through the dishwasher. We're going to run this through the dishwasher. There's a little metal ring that goes on here, and when you put this back together, make sure that ring is on there. When you put this back together. But we're going to run this all through the dishwasher. We're going to run all our screws and clamps and everything through the dishwasher, and we're going to have a new hose ready to go when we come back. What I'm going to do here for just right now is take apart this old housing, and I just want to show you what we're talking about when the bearing is bad in here, and show you that these other two bearings, you can salvage these for two other repairs. This roller from Stoelting, I got the roller kit, and it was about $318 just for this roller and this shaft. Now I don't need the shaft, and I told them not to send me the shaft, and they sent it to me anyway. But I'm going to hang on to it because I don't have a spare shaft in stock right now. But I believe you can order this roller just on its own. But however, you don't want to throw away this old roller that we just took out of here, and I'm going to show you why. Because once I get it apart here, this is one of those things where you can take the... Alright, there we go. Now we got it apart. Now you can see there's three bearings in here. This one here is the bad bearing that was... sorry, which one here? This is the bad bearing in here. And unfortunately we can't see it from this angle, but you can take these three bearings out of here individually, out of this roller, and these two bearings can be used to fix another pump that has a bad bearing in the future. So basically you can save yourself $600 by just saving these two bearings and using these instead of ordering a whole new roller every single time one of these bearings goes bad, because we still have two good bearings in this roller here. So here you go. This is the issue we're talking about here. You can see all the bearings and beads are out of there, and so this bearing is just completely bad. However, these other two bearings look like this on the other side, so they're still okay. We're going to run these through the dishwasher and clean this all up, but we're going to discard this. That's the bad bearing. But in the future, if you have a bad bearing, just one of them is bad in your roller, you can remove this bearing and put it into the other assembly. Take the bad bearing out. So by saving these two, you have room for two more fixes. So you don't have to order a $300 roller every single time. You can put one of these good bearings into the bad roller. We're going to pause the video for right now, and we're going to run our stuff through the dishwasher, and when we come back, we'll put this back together. All right, we ran our stuff through the dishwasher, and I did take apart this old roller. I just wanted to point out something to you. These are the inside of the old roller, and as you can see here, that bad bearing actually physically wore into the steel casing of the outer bearing. So you want to just discard the outer bearings, or the outer shell of the old bearing. There's no reason to save that, so that's all going in the garbage. I did clean up and take apart or take off those other two internal bearings, and as you can see on the inside on both sides, they're still okay. So this is basically two more fixes for future rollers. So instead of putting a whole new roller at $300 on, I'm just going to take the old roller apart, take the bad roller out, and put a new roller in. And this is assuming that your U3 pumps are less than 10 years old, and or you have the retroactive retro bearings in them. My pumps are 15 years old. I had the old shafts taken out. You need a hydraulic press for that. So if your U3 pump is over 10 years old, it's possible you may need a press, and then you don't have this convenient roller shaft on there. So if you have trouble rolling it out, it's possible you may have an old style pump. But I would guess by now that they've been fitted with the retro pumps after 10 years. But this is a repair that is easily made by the operator versus having a Stoelting technician or refrigeration technician do it. Now we ran this clamp or clover clamp or outer clamp for the roller through the dishwasher. Make sure you have this metal ring on here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to slide that back on to over the roller, and we're just going to push it in like that so it snaps. Then you're going to take your 3 clamps. And technically it should be 4, but you can get away with 3 as long as you have 2 on the bottom here where the hose is, so the clamp doesn't separate at the bottom. Generally these things are very easy to lose, and I generally have only 3 in all of my pumps right now because we do tend to lose them. But just make sure you get the 2. You get the 2 where the intake, this is the intake hose, and the outtake hose right here. Just make sure you get the 2 in the bottom for those outtakes. I think that's more important than having it in the top of the clamp. If you have one just at the top, I think you'll be all right. I haven't had any issues with only having 3 in as long as they're tight and snug. Now, when you get these in here, what you want to do is take your pliers and just tighten them a little bit. Don't tighten them crazy, but just make sure they're clamp tight, and you don't want to have them loose where the pump is spinning them out. So it's got to be tight enough where the vibration of the pump won't spin them out. So generally, if you give it a clamp or 2 from the pliers, it will just be perfectly fine. So this is basically how I tighten them. Now we're going to put the wrench down. Now what you want to do is we cut this U3 hose, we cut that black part off. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed this hose in now. We're going to plug her in. We're going to turn the pump on, and you want to feed it against the bend, of course. Don't feed it with the bend, feed it against the bend, so you want to have it so the other end is sticking up in the air a little. And then put it in the intake. Just let it grab it, don't shove it. Let the pump just bring her around. And that's good enough. What we're going to do then is take our hose clamp on this end, and remember this is the intake hose, so this clamp right here just holds the hose in place in that position. And while we're here, just listen to how much better that sounds versus what we had when we first started that video. All right, and then what you want to do is take the other hose clamp, and we are going to put the clamp over the hose like this, and then put it into our T. And then what we're going to do is we're going to clamp the hose tight to the T. And then we're going to put the air valve back on, take that and twist that back on. And then basically the pump is ready to go. We're going to put the plate that we ran through the dishwasher back on there. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to put this pump back on the plate. We're going to run sanitizer to it and set the machine up. If you have any ideas about new videos, you can email us at dqoa@dqoa-dqoc.com. If you have any other suggestions for videos or repair things you would like to see, we'll take those suggestions and then hopefully get those filmed. So thank you very much.